All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. For those of you that I've not met, my name is Adam Starnes. I'm the account manager here at MAD Security. And with me today is Kevin Mims, account executive stretching from the state of Colorado all the way over to the southeastern United States, taking care of people that are interested in becoming clients here with MAD Security. Now, once you become a client here with MAD Security, I'm making sure that you're getting 100% of what you were promised and more, manage your renewals, take your feedback, assist with additional services as well. Again, Kevin's going to be handling the new coming aboard with the company. So we definitely appreciate you joining us today. Today's down hall is definitely a special one. We are celebrating a major milestone in MAD Security's journey and talking about what it means for you. So I'm going to just go over what we're going to talk about today briefly. Today's focus is our achievement. I'm going to tell you a little more about what MAD Security has accomplished, how the right partner protects your business. So basically, just like not signing up with anyone, but what does it do for you to actually select the right partner, the best fit? Why you should act now and not later. Should you procrastinate on this? Should you put it on the back burner? If not, why? Then stick around for crucial details. It's definitely going to give you some insight on what it means for your future success. And then let's make sure that you do not miss the giveaways and offerings before we head into the Q&A session. Right? Excuse me, we'll actually do Q&A and then we will give you the giveaways at the end. During the Q&A session, by the way, please make sure that you're submitting any and all questions that you may have. We may run out of time. We do have several people that typically watch these webinars come on with us at the town hall. So submit it. If we cannot get to you during the time that's allotted, I promise you we will follow up with your question afterwards. So submit those. We definitely appreciate any and all questions. All right, so as you see on the screen here now, I am proud to announce that MAD Security is now officially CMMC Level 2 certified. This certification is a huge achievement, but more importantly, it's a commitment from MAD Security to you that we are practicing what we preach, living the same standards that we help you meet and staying ahead of evolving cybersecurity threats. It's one thing for us to tell you that you should do something, but it's something else for us to go set the example and make sure that we've actually been through the process. We've taken several clients now through the CMMC Level 2 assessment, and that's one thing, but for us to actually be able to go through it ourselves, hopefully shows to you that we are committed to the defense industry base and we are committed to CMMC. So definitely, we'll talk a little more about that.
Yeah, thanks, Adam, and thank you for the introduction as well. So CMMC Level 2, what is that exactly? So if you need a quick refresher, CMMC Level 2 is about safeguarding controlled unclassified information, or CUI, which is critical to national security. It requires organizations to meet all 110 security controls outlined in NIST 800-171, demonstrating real cybersecurity maturity. And this isn't just a checkbox, it's a real substantial security standard as well. And as Adam mentioned before, we at MAD Security recently became CMMC Level 2 certified. And this wasn't a quick overnight achievement either. We had to undergo comprehensive internal assessments, strengthen policies and procedures, technical policies and technical hardening of systems, employee training and education. And the very people who worked with the C3PAO auditors are the VCM who work with our clients as well. So with all the same level of rigor expected from defense contractors, we wanted to live the experience our clients are going through so we can guide them better together as well.
Absolutely. What Kevin just said is so important. Definitely think that it's very important that you do hear and understand that the same people that MAD Security used to go through our very own C3PAO audit are going to be the same people that if you get our virtual compliance management service would actually be working with you through that audit. Why that's important? Some companies are going to have somebody that's assigned to you. They'll have different tiers of specialists or experts, as you could say, and then they would use their best for their own audit, and they would use maybe some beginner levels to help clients. But here at MAD Security, every one of our VCM specialists were a part of the C through PAO audit. So you were going to have the same team that passed our own audit that's helping you through yours. Yeah, that's an awesome point, Kevin. And why does all of this matter? So, MAD Security, we eat, we sleep, and we breathe defense industry base. Cybersecurity is not optional. You need a partner who eats, sleeps, and breathes CMMC compliance in that DIB space, and that's exactly who we are. Over 85% of our clients are DIB. We've built our services, our processes, our expertise specifically around protecting national security assets from evil, simplifying cybersecurity challenges for businesses, helping contractors and subcontractors become CMMC compliant ready. DIB is not just something that we do, it's what we do. As you saw with the 85%, we could do HIPAA, we can do financial services, but what we concentrate on, the business that we actually go after, the companies that we choose to attempt to partner with during outreach, are people in the defense industry base. That's where we set our focus.
Absolutely. Now, here's the truth. Partnering with the wrong provider is a risk. An uncertified, unproven provider might mean missed compliance requirements, failed audits, lost contracts, or exposure to cybersecurity threats as well. So choosing a partner who's certified themselves, like us at MAD Security, it's going to reduce your risk and increase your confidence as well.
Yes, let's just get in briefly to certified providers versus non-certified providers. What is the difference that you can expect? So a certified provider, someone that's already been through the CMMC Level 2 process themselves, are going to know exactly what auditors look for. There are a few different companies that jumped on the bandwagon whenever CMMC started getting hot, and they said, we've been doing cybersecurity, we've been doing a little bit of compliance, let's start doing CMMC. It's not the case with MAD Security. And again, I'm not just pitching you the MAD Security sales pitch per se. What I'm really trying to point out here is that you do want to look at someone that has been through the process, whether it be MAD Security or another MSSP that's a CMMC Level 2 certified themselves. Because whenever you are dealing with the MSSP, RPO that's taken their clients through the audit, that's been audited themselves, you actually have had a personal communication with an auditor and you're knowing exactly what it is that they're looking for. Something else that is a benefit of going with a certified provider is that they understand the common pitfalls because they've been audited themselves. Sometimes you may hear a VCM, for instance, we get stories all the time from our VCM team from where a now client might have been with a different provider before, and they may have had the controls implemented and didn't have the documentation to prove it. That is one common pitfall that you see in audits. They had everything perfectly laid out. The control was technically met, but they did not have the documentation to prove it, which makes that control not met or partially met, so you don't get the point. So we understand, a certified provider understands those common pitfalls. Also, certified provider is going to bring firsthand experience and strategic guidance. It's not hearsay, it's not studying, it's not that they went to school for it, it's actually firsthand experience. Plus, if your MSSP does happen to get your CUI in the flow down, you want to make sure that your whole supply chain of vendors is CMMC covered, including your MSSP. There's a lot of language and back and forth is your MSSP going to be required to be CMMC compliant? And no matter where you stand on that, you can pretty much agree that just in case they get your CUI, it's going to be best to have somebody dedicated to that that's going to practice exactly what it is that they're asking and assisting you to do. Non-certified providers might have good intentions, but the good intentions are not going to win the contracts and protect your CUI. Certification proves the capability. Certified providers are dedicated to the defense industry base, to CMMC, and of course to you guys, the defense industry based clients. And that's what we're focused on.
So what does that mean for you when you partner with MAD Security? When you partner with us, you'll get a team that's battle tested and audit proven, specialized expertise in the DIB and CMMC space, 24/7, 365 security operations built specifically for defense contractors, and a trusted advisor who's been there and done it as well. What we like to say is our success is your success.
Absolutely. The one thing I would like to point out that Kevin touched on there is going to be the 24/7, 365 security operations. That's built specifically for defense contractors. We build our SOC around CMMC, having CMMC in mind. We want to make sure that everything we do, whether it be SOC vulnerability management, a penetration test, anything that we do for you is going to meet those standards and those controls of CMMC. And that's what it's built around. Now, I won't spend a whole lot of time on this. If you're here today, you've most likely registered for this very town hall using our website and know a little bit about us. I do think there's a few important things for us to touch on. So MAD Security is a Cyber AB registered practitioner organization, or RPO for short. Also, service disabled veteran done to business. We safeguard your business with world-class industry-leading managed services, technology solutions, again, focused on the DIB. The SOC is operated by all background checked and credentialed U.S. citizens in Huntsville, Alabama. We only have 2 remote employees. They're on a operations and sales side. They are not part of the SOC. So your whole SOC is actually ran here on site in Huntsville, Alabama. Over 85% of our clients are government contractors seeking CMMC compliance. MAD Security does have 15 years of cybersecurity and compliance experience. And that's not a cumulative. That's how long the company has actually been a company. And CMMC Level 2 certified, which is why we're here today, talk a little about that. Now over to the right side of the screen, you will see we do have the MSSP alert. We did make the top 250 MSSP list in the world for the last 3 years. This last year, we ended up scoring at 114. Really cool story about that is we did not go seek this information ourselves until after a now client was a prospect at the time, actually brought it to our attention that she was looking for someone to assist her with the CMMC. So she started going down the MSSP alert list to figure out who she wanted to contact. And out of all of those above us at that 114 mark, there was no other MSSP that she could find that was solely focused or primarily focused on the DIB, the defense industry base. She said there were some that said they could do it, but their focus was elsewhere. MAD Security is the first one she came to that said they put all of their time and effort towards that. So thought that was a pretty cool story to hear that from a client. If you're not aware, I would like to share a little bit about the leadership team here with MAD Security. I do have some expertise there with Jeremy Conway building and leading the SOC for NASA. Ended up making a decision later on down the line. Do I want to continue and move that particular job? Going to have to move some locations, or do I want to stay here and do something else? And then ended up taking over as CEO of MAD Security. And then we do have the expertise of Cliff Neve that actually was part of the Coast Guard Cyber Command, as well as the White House. So definitely some expertise with the leadership, as well as all sorts of diverse expertise in cybersecurity and the defense industry base, all over the SOC penetration testing and compliance department.
So we do recommend you start on this now. waiting until you're forced to act is dangerous. The CMMC requirement will be mandatory for most defense contractors sooner rather than later. And waiting until the last minute will most likely lead to, scrambling to prepare, rushing to fix gaps, higher cost, greater audit stress as well. So like I said, we do recommend starting now, staying ready, and trying to move ahead of the competitors in this process as well.
So what happens if you wait too long? Well, here's what waiting could mean. Emergency remediation cost, failed or delayed audits, lost contracts to competitors who are already compliant, damaged reputation with primes and DoD because you couldn't fulfill contract requirements before, so they had to switch to another provider. Those are all just kind of examples on what waiting too long can do. The companies who prepare early are going to be the ones to succeed long term. Now, I get it. Everybody's in a different place. Everybody's got different decisions to make, especially on the financial side, and the things are really rocky. There's a lot of things going on in the market out there right now. I actually spoke to someone today that's interested in becoming a client. They know that they're going to need to become CMMC compliant at some point. Leadership is going to push it out as far as they can for say. But I'd say this, whenever you do wait, what you are risking is the fact that supply and demand is going to go up the closer you get to these going into all contracts, not just some like it is right now. So you're going to have cost and demand, which is going to drive pricing up. It's going to drive waiting times longer. As well as if you're waiting longer to get these things implemented to start preparing for CMMC, and you do receive a contract that gives you a date that you have to be compliant by, you're going to put yourself in a pinch. The reason being is because not only are you going to have to wait a little longer usually to start getting these things met, but then you're going to have to show maturity as well. Whenever you have to look at the cyber AV, it'll talk about how the auditors do like to see 90 to 180 days of maturity and evidence that you've been doing something for it to be sufficient for you to be able to pass that particular control. It's not like you need to meet the auditing requirements on the CMMC controls, so you're going to put a SOC SIM in place this week, have your audit in 2 weeks. That's not the way they're going to be able to let it work. So those are just a few things to consider. You don't want to wait too long. Whether, and again, that's not even coming from a company trying to get you to do something perspective. That's just coming from, if you wait too long, this is what can happen. So whether if it be with someone like Mad Security, that's an MSSP, or whether if you're doing it internally, I do urge you, go ahead, take it seriously, start moving now.
Absolutely. So when dealing with CMMC, we do recommend choosing a provider who is DIB and CMMC focused, who are dedicated to your industry and experts in the CMMC and NIST 800 space as well. Now, it doesn't have to be Mad Security because everyone is not the right fit for one another. Just make sure to choose wisely when going through this process. That's what we recommend.
Absolutely, very well said. And that's going to actually bring us to our Q&A session. Now, again, if you'll go ahead and submit your questions to us, we will have those here on our screens. We'll be able to answer as many as we can over this next probably 8 minutes or so, because then we're going to need to get to the giveaways before we end this right at about 2:30. So let's answer as many questions as we can, and we will get back to you by email to answer your question, or if you'd like to drop your number into the messages to us, we could give you a call if you prefer that way, so that we can get around to answering all the questions that you may have. The way that we'll do this today, as the questions come in, I'll read those off, and then we will let Kevin answer these questions for you. So we will see what we've got here so far. We've already got several in the queue here. All right, first one they've got here, Kevin. This gentleman asked, so what does it really mean to become CMMC Level 2, to become a CMMC Level 2 certified company?
Yeah, so that just means, well, MAD Security has successfully implemented and passed all 110 security controls in NIST 800-171. This was done through a formal CMMC Level 2 assessment by a certified C3PAO as well. So we're not just preaching security, we're practicing it. And our clients can trust that we know exactly what auditors expect because we've been through this process ourselves. So good question.
Yeah, good question and great answer. I like that. Let's see. We've got another gentleman that asked, how does partnering with a certified RPO or MSSP help me pass my own audit?
Yes, so we've lived the experience, right? Our virtual compliance managers are the same professionals who helped guide MAD through our audit. We help clients by reviewing documentation, guiding them through best practices, and identifying gaps early as well. So this saves time, it's going to reduce stress, and it's going to set you up for success when your turn comes. Another good question.
Absolutely. Let's see. We have this lady that asked us, if I am already working with another MSSP, why should I consider switching to MAD Security?
Yeah, well, most MSSPs aren't focused on the DIB or certified in CMMC. MAD security is purpose built for defense contractors. So over 85% of our clients are in this space. And we have proven success helping companies meet compliance requirements while reducing risk and audit anxiety as well. So you deserve a partner who is specialized in your world with this.
Yeah, I liked that part of your answer, Kevin. That's a real thing, audit anxiety. We've got a lot of people that come to us for that, and just really want that expert. Sometimes people actually are pretty confident in what they have. They just want somebody that's got the expertise to help explain it to the auditors and things. It's a real thing, kind of like test taking anxiety. Some people don't like taking tests, and it's something that can really help. No, I like
Right.
the way you said that. When let's see, this one. This is a good question here. All right, gentleman asked, when is CMMC Level 2 going to be required?
So good question. So the final rule is expected to go into effect soon, and contracts will begin requiring it within months later. Many contractors are preparing now because waiting until it's mandated can lead to rush remediation, higher cost, and lost opportunities, like we mentioned before. So again, getting ahead gives you a competitive edge here as well.
Absolutely. Let's see here. All right, yeah, I really like this question. This is something people bring to us all the time, so I'm glad you asked this, sir. What if I already use Fortinet or any other tool? Can MAD Security still work with me to keep those tools?
Yeah, absolutely. So we work with a variety of environments, including Fortinet setups. Now during the scoping phase, we'll identify how our services can integrate, complement, or enhance what you already have. So that's a good question.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's one thing that MAD Security takes pride on. If you come on and you want to talk about maybe having MAD Security assist with some of the services, you're gonna have that conversation with Kevin, and what's gonna end up happening is we're gonna listen to you, listen what you have in place, and you may already like what some of the tools that you have. So, like you said, we're gonna do whatever we can to complement those things and integrate them. Our particular SOC SIM is what we refer to as agnostic. It's where you can basically plug in, keep whatever tools you have. You're not just having to rip and replace like you do in a lot of cases. So, yeah, that's one thing you don't have to worry about. We're not going to prescribe you something you don't need. So, yeah, awesome question, awesome answer there. Let's do. Yeah, here we go. Let's do this one. It says, "Can MAD Security act as my see-through PAO or audit me?"
Unfortunately, no, we can't conduct your official audit. Only authorized C3POs can do that. However, we can prepare you for success through gap assessments, remediation support, and documentation reviews. So when it comes time for your official audit, you'll be ready with that help by us.
Yeah, Kevin hit it dead on for you. He's exactly right. We can't do it because we're not a see-through PAO. Now, I will say this, just in case you're wondering. We do have people that have been through see-through PAO training, so we do have that expertise to know what they look for. And then we do have see-through PAO partners, meaning that whenever we've assisted you through this, or maybe you think you're ready already and you're needing some referrals to know who to go speak to, we do have some see-through PAO partners we can refer you to. So definitely can still help in that space. All right, let's do one last question. Then we'll need to go ahead and jump over. If we do have more questions that come in, looks like we may have at least one, maybe two that we are not going to be able to get to. Let's get back to you afterwards because we don't want you to miss your giveaways and the offerings that we have here for you. So the last one we'll hit for the sake of this town hall. Thought it was a good question. It says, what happens after the town hall if I want to talk more?
Yeah, so we'd love to connect. Feel free to use mine or Adam's meeting links on the last slide, or reach out via email, whether it's getting a quote, asking about services, or discussing your CMMC roadmap. We're here to help however I can, however we can. So yeah, just reach out.
Yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing about you asking that, ma'am, is the fact that we're about to cover where you can reach out to us at here as well. Like you said, you can send us an email. You can use the link. Let me see here. We actually have the giveaways and consultation or free consultation links here as well. So I'll kind of briefly go over what all's involved here. You're going to actually get this slide deck emailed to you. If you don't get it, please reach out to us so that we can get it sent over. All these links will be live so that you can click it. We do have the free pre-assessment. What the free pre-assessment is it's actually going to be a free, approximately 30 question, yes, no, don't know exam, basically for you to go through and take to say, yes, I do have this, no, I do not have this, and maybe not, I'm not sure. And then it lets us get a pretty good idea of where you're going to stand against the CMMC controls. Also, we have the free CMMC master bundle. What this is going to be is a lot of white papers, great details, a lot of great content about CMMC and kind of what to expect. And then you do have the free CMMC assessment guide below that. And what the assessment guide is going to let you know is the roadmap to certification, from preparing for it to getting the C3PO, all the way through the whole process. So there's definitely some great content there. Please feel free to take advantage of those. Reach out about any questions that you have with that. If you do fill out the free pre-assessment, what it will do is actually go ahead and notify us so that we can get you those results sent back over to you. And then at the very bottom, talking about what happens if you want to talk more, we definitely can do that. Any future clients that are wanting to potentially come on with MAD Security, can email Kevin there at the kmims@madsecinc.com, as well as underneath you'll see the meetings.hubspot.com/Kevin Mims. That is going to be his calendar link. You can put whatever is convenient for you on your calendar. And then below that, if you are a current client or if you're a referral from a current client, you kind of have any questions about what I do, how I can assist with you after coming aboard with MAD Security, definitely be my pleasure to speak to you as well. Again, you can reach out to the Starnes@madsecinc.com or go to the meetings.hubspot.com/Adam-Starnes and reach my calendar that way. Well, again, we definitely really appreciate you all joining us today. We had a pretty good turnout and definitely appreciate you all being here town hall to town hall. We've got a lot of returns, and then we also have new people with us as well. So definitely appreciate the support. Again, the questions that we did not get to, we will get back to you on the answers. If you do have any more questions after we get off here, you're like, oh man, I didn't think about that. That's great. Again, please feel free to reach out. We appreciate you joining us, and we will see you next time.